Thank you, guys. Let's get started. Hot 26 with Norma. It's about an hour and 15 or an hour and 20 minutes with Shavasana. Let's have some fun. Coming to the top of your mat. If you haven't done so already, get a little bit of that stretching. Take the arms up. Interlace the fingers. Bring the hands down into the chin. Clamp those elbows down. And let's start with the breath. Remember that the breath is one of the most important parts of this practice. Feet together, belly in, tailbone down. Sucking in that belly and breathe through the nose. Inhale through the nose, begin to lift the elbows. Start to find a count of 6. Inhale a little bit more, reach the elbows nice and high. And then exhale through the mouth. As you slowly exhale, the head begins to come up, elbows begin to come forward. You lift through the elbows, gazes up. Inhale, lift up, slowly lift, elbows lift, breathe through the nose, breathing through the nose, and then exhale. Inhale through the nose, begin to lift through the elbows, lift a little bit more, enhancing the lung capacity. And then exhale, releasing the toxins from the lungs, from the body. Elbows begin to come forward. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale a little bit more area, and then slowly exhale through the mouth. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. Inhale in. As you begin to inhale, make sure the belly is in, pressing down through the feet. Lift the elbows a little higher. Zip a little bit more air. And then exhale through the mouth as you slowly allow the mouth to release that stale air from the belly. Elbows begin to come forward. Elbows lift and lift back. Inhale. Breathe like you mean it. Inhale slowly in. Take your time, 6 counts. Lift a little bit more, lift the elbows. Breathe 1 whole breath, and then exhale. Through the mouth, and release the hands out to the side. Very nice. Hopefully you're all set to go. Your back is limber. And let's begin. Inhale, lift up. Take those palms really, really close together. And as a matter of fact, there should be no space between the palms. Index finger is up. Belly is in, and make sure the tailbone is not sticking out. Tuck that tailbone in, pelvis is neutral, and then take the fingertips towards your right side, hips towards the left. Hips towards the left, coming over, and you look like a half moon. As you're reaching over towards the right side, make sure that left shoulder's not coming forward. Pull that left shoulder back. Lengthen through the elbows. Make sure there's no bend in the elbows. The goal is for you to have nice long arms, no bend. Left hip is pushing over. You're pressing firmly down through the feet. You're going to feel almost as if you're going to fall over towards the left side. You need to feel a pull through the left hip and a pull through the right fingertips. Come back to center. Lift the heart, belly in, tailbone down. Fingers towards your left side. Start to look like a half of a moon, crescent moon. And then start pulling the hips over towards your right side. As you pull your hips towards the right side, press down through your feet. Your legs are really active. Your legs are actually really straight, no bend in the knees. Make sure those fingertips are going over towards the left side. And you keep reaching over and to the side. Now right shoulder comes forward. Press it back, belly in. Keep your hips very level. Look like that beautiful half moon. Media luna. Keep going. And then slowly back towards the center. Make sure your belly's really engaged. Don't collapse. Suck in the belly, lift the chest. Press down on your feet, look up towards your palms. And now start allowing the head to go back. And then pull those arms towards the back. The arms are still straight. The hips are forward. The weight of your feet is in the middle to the back. Lift your toes if you want to challenge your balance. Lift the toes, the weight is towards the back. Lift the chest, don't collapse, press the hips forward, keep looking back, arch a little bit more, and then exhale, release. Come on forward, bend the knees. Forward fold. Grab the back of the heels, lift the right heel, and then the left. Or maybe just grab the hands towards the back. Do your best to bring the hands towards the back. Very nice. Belly and thighs are touching. You want to bend your knees as much as possible. The goal is to kind of look like a sandwich between your thighs, your chest, and your belly. Now grab onto the back of the heels. Now pull, forehead to knee. Look at your knees, forehead to knee. Try to get the forehead to touch the knees. And then as you pull, go ahead and start lifting the hips up. Lift the hips up. Lift. Pull a little bit more. Pull. If you're not pulling, you're not getting the benefit of the pose. Pull a little bit more. Lift the hips up. And then slowly release. Slowly release. Palms come together towards the front. Start taking yourself up. Nice. And exhale. Release. These are very, very simple poses, but we have to keep a rhythm. So do your best not to interrupt your rhythm. Avoid drinking water until we have water breaks. Let's get your heart rate up and really get the benefits of warming up the body. Separate your feet about 2 fists apart. If you don't know how much that is, measure 2 fists apart. Your feet are completely forward. Arms towards the front, Frankenstein arms. Nice. Bend the knees, sit low. Coming low, coming as low as you can. Make sure instead of leaning the chest forward, the chest is always lifted. Now lift your toes. Make sure your feet didn't go out now. Your feet are completely parallel, just like your hands. It's okay to look at your feet, make sure they're in a good shape. Lift the toes, now sit back. Avoid leaning forward, lift the chest, sit back a little bit more. See how low you can come. This is called awkward pose. It's going to feel weird. Try to keep the knees going forward. Don't allow the knees to come in. Don't allow the knees to go back. Press through your feet for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly with control. Come on up. Now keep your eyes on an object that you're going to stare at, and then come high on your toes. Stay high on your toes. Listen to my words only. You don't have to be looking at me. Just listen to the words. Keep your eyes focused on that spot or object. Stay high. Stay as high as you can on your toes, and then slowly bend the knees. You can bend the knees a lot, or you can bend the knees a little. And then just come to that spot. When you start leaning forward, that means you've gone too far. Take the shoulders back, get high on your toes, and you can continue going lower if you wish. Just don't allow the hips to be lower than the knees. I know today I'm having some balancing challenges. Come on down. Maybe more or maybe not. Maybe just make sure you stay nice and high. Get high on your toes. High on your toes for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then slowly come up. Arms stay where they are. Knees together. Squeeze the knees. Remember, this is called awkward pose. Squeeze the knees like there's no tomorrow. Squeeze the knees. Lift the heels. You don't lift the heels as much as before. Just lift the heels half an inch or an inch, and then come down. Notice if the body starts leaning forward. Shoulders back. The goal is for you to squeeze the knees, come down, based on no pain on the knee. If you feel pain, you stop there. If you feel like you're leaning forward, you stop there, you readjust, you hold, you squeeze. You're here for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and then slowly release. Very nice. Back to your Tadasana, mountain pose. Stay active in a Tadasana. A mountain means strength. A mountain means that the wind will come and nothing's going to make it fall. So stay strong, press through your feet. Feet together, toes towards the front. Inhale, left arms up. Take your right arm underneath, left over. Like a little X, either you hug yourself or you bring your hands into a nice eagle arch. Find a spot or object that you're going to be staring at. Listen to my voice. Preferably you're not looking at me because I may make you fall. So stay focused. Pull the elbows down, bend the knees into chair pose. Transfer the weight towards the left leg, and then take the right leg over and cross it over. Wrap it if you can. If you haven't wrapped it before and you've been taking this class maybe 8 to 10 times, start trying to wrap it. See if you can come and wrap it. Keep your knees going forward, and then come and sit as low as you can. Notice if you're leaning forward. If you're leaning forward, take that chest back. Your goal is to stack the shoulders on top of your hips. Make sure the left knee's bent. Both knees are bent. You're in that chair pose. The left leg is not straight. The left leg is bent as much as you can, and you pull the elbows down. You have one straight line. The palms are in line with the lips. The elbows are in line in the center of the body towards the belly button. And your knees are right in the center. They're not going left or right. And inhale, lift up. Always an option to take a back bend. Left underneath, right over, hugging or eagle arms. Bend the knees. Feet are facing forward. Start with your feet together if you can. Transfer the weight towards the right leg. Find your drishti focal point and then lift that left leg up nice and high. Go ahead and wrap if it's available to you. If it's not available to you, just stay focused with that left foot. Really balance and helping that left toe. Find your eagle. When you find that balance, start adjusting your pose. Pull down on the elbows. Pull down on the shoulders so that both shoulders are aligned. Make sure you're pressing really firmly through that right foot. Make sure you're really squeezing through that left leg. Now notice your shoulders. Are you leaning forward? Can you slightly adjust to make sure the shoulders are stacked on top of the hips? And then come down a little bit more. Aligning your palms in the center of your lips. Pulling the elbows down towards your navel. And having those knees facing forward. Hips towards the front, knees towards the front for 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly release. Inhale, lift up. Back to your Tadasana. Very nice. Holding it here. We're moving along. You're doing a great job. This is a great sequence for your joints to strengthen your ankles, to prevent injuries from when we do other forms of exercise. Press the weight really firmly through the ground, and let's have standing head to knee. The first set, we're just going to bend the right leg 90 degrees. Make sure that right ankle is right below the right knee. We have that 90-degree stance. Make sure the left hip is not kicking to the side. Hold here. Your goal in the first set is to have a really strong left leg, left foot is pressing down. Lift through the chest, don't collapse, leaning forward, belly in. If you fall, you come back in. Maybe you bring the hands in front of that right knee. Holding it here. Stay here, or option to go ahead and now take the hands underneath that right foot. 90 degrees on that ankle, below the right knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then slowly release. Other side, find your drishti point, find your focal point. Lift up, left side, 90 degrees. Feel really strong on that standing leg. Right toes are pressing down. The entire right foot is really firm. Notice how the weight wants to go to the edge of the right of the foot. Bring that toe into play. Balance here, stay here with an option to bring the hands underneath that left knee. With an option to go further or stay here. If you wish to go further, take the hands underneath. Once you take the hands underneath, find control so that the left ankle is underneath the left knee. Now feel your body. If you fall, you come back in. Maybe the belly's touching the thighs. It's okay on the left side. You're trying to make that 90 degrees. You're standing straight on that standing leg for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Very nice. Second set is always the most fun. Find that spot or object that you're going to be staring at. Stay in your standing Tadasana. Get into the habit of not just kind of standing it. Tadasana is a pose. Press on your left foot. Lift the right leg. Hands in front of the knee. Take your time, or slowly take your hands underneath. Option to stay here, or if you're going to kick out, first work on your standing leg. Before you kick out, don't rush into kicking out. Make sure that standing leg is straight. If you need to do a micro bend on that left knee so that you can extend the right, do so. And then when you straighten that right leg in front, make sure you straighten the left leg. Pull the elbows towards the right calf. And then bring forehead to knee. Make sure the right heel is the height of the hip. Not lower, not higher. Standing leg is straight for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Other sides, Tadasana. You got this. Transfer the weight towards the right leg, left leg lifts. Let's go and hand and bring it underneath that left knee. And then slowly take your hands underneath that left side. And when you're ready, you kick. And only kick if you're ready. Imagine this practice for you as an adult. This is your karate practice. There's a lot of discipline. If you've ever seen karate or jiu-jitsu, there's so much discipline. They don't advance to the next pose until they have all the basics right. So this is exactly what we're doing. Hold wherever you are for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Very nice. Coming back to your Tadasana. Very important that you use your Tadasana as part of disciplining your mind and body. You come back to this meditative pose. Next pose is standing bow and pulling the bow. But it's actually dancers and vinyasa, but it's the same pose. Take the right hand out to the side. Right thumb points back. Lift the left hand up. Make sure there's no bend in the elbow. Nice and long. Really engage in the tip of the left fingers. Transfer the weight towards that left leg. Bend the right knee. Take the right angle to the back. Make sure the right knee is leveled with the left knee. You can stay here. We're going to do this pose twice. If you're ready, you take the inside, take the hand inside part of the right foot, right angle. Keep your eyes focused on that spot or object, and when you're ready, begin to kick that right leg back. Kick back. You don't have to kick back. You can just stay here, standing on that left leg. If you have this pose in your practice, you know where you've been here before. Maybe you want to adjust. Maybe you go slower. Maybe you go faster. Maybe you kick more. Maybe you do something different that you know is going to help your alignment. Make sure you're keeping that right knee focused, not allowing it to go out to the right side. Kick a little bit more. Lift the chest, lift the left arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Left hand out to the side, right arm lifts. Transferring the weight towards the right foot, bend the left knee. Again, this is maybe where you stay or you reach through the inside part of that left foot or ankle. And then when you're ready, at your own pace, you can start kicking back. You don't have to, but if you're ready, kick more. Concentrate on your kick back before leaning forward. Kick as much as you can, get a really nice back bend. And when you've reached as much of a kick as you can, that's when you start leaning forward. So kick, kicking, kick back, lift the chest, kick back, feel that beautiful back bend, kick, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Very nice. You may notice the heart rate is increasing. Make sure you're using your inhales and exhales to calm you down. You can even exhale through the mouth if you're feeling hot, or just continue breathing through the nose. Right hand out to the side, left hand lifts. We've been here before. Go ahead and grab that left, right foot, right ankle. And then when you're ready, you start kicking. You've been here before, so maybe your body's going to remember. Maybe your body remembers a little bit more. You hold here. Can you kick a little bit more? Can you be mindful of feeling where the right knee is? Is the right knee shooting up to the right, or is it right behind your right head? 5, 4, 3, 2, release. Left hand out to the side, right arm lifts. Shift the weight towards the right foot, reach back, left side. Option to stay here, option to start kicking. Find that spot or object that you're going to be staring at. Maybe you go deeper than before, maybe you just perfect that dancer's pose. Feel the strength of pulling that left leg up higher. The more you pull, the more strength you have to balance from the back into the front. So pull a little bit more. Pull a little bit more for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Very nice. Back to your Tadasana. Find stillness in your Tadasana. This is the mountain that will really just help you around chaos. You're just standing strong. Let that chaos go around you. Let those crazy thoughts. And just be that mountain. Feet together, arms reach up towards the top, interlace the fingers, index fingers up. Lengthen through the elbows, just like we did before in half moon. Take a really nice, generous step towards the right side, and then lift the left leg back. Make sure your left hip is not opening. Make sure both hip bones are forward. And as you're here, go ahead and pull that left leg back. Before you go any further, make sure that left knee is straight. There should be no bend in that left knee. Straighten the leg. Maybe you stay straight and you stay here. Or maybe you keep kicking and you come here. Look between the palms. Your shoulders are slightly up like a little baby cobra. Your shoulders are not leaning down. If you lean down, you're going to see the ground really quick. Point the fingers, point the toes towards the opposite side. Make sure left hip is facing down. Both hips are facing down. Pull. 5, 4, 3, 2. Left foot comes back, right follows. Left foot comes forward, right foot towards the back. Make sure that right leg is not bent. You start noticing the leg starts bending. Point the toes. Kick that right leg back. Make sure that right leg is straight. You should look like a letter T. If you're not like a letter T, it's okay. That's the goal. Just make sure that right leg is straight. You're pointing the toes. Right hip is facing down. Chest is slightly like an up dog. Try to have that beautiful line. The hips are the same height as the back leg. The hips are the same height as you're pointing your fingers forward. 5, 4, 3, 2. Step the right foot back. And release. Relax the shoulders. Notice any tension that may be coming up. Staying in your Tadasana. Resisting the urge to fidget. Inhale, lift one more time. Let's do it a second time. Right foot forward. You've been here before, so let's go ahead. Find that pose. Maybe you can strike the pose right away. Maybe you take your time. You go a little slower. That's okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. Come on back. Left leg forward. Striking that pose at your own pace. Make sure that right leg in the back is straight. Make sure that right heel is straight. 5, 4, 3, 2. Release. Bringing it down. Very nice. Come to the top of your mat. If you're not at the top of your mat, drink some water. This is your first water break. Feel free to drink some water. Towel down. And then meet me at the top of your mat and then turn so that your mat is lengthwise. Hopefully you're towards the left side. Back to your Tadasana. Feel grounded, feel rooted. This is where you show up for yourself, where nothing can disturb your peace. Take a big step with the right leg, nice and wide. Make sure the toes are not at 45 degrees. Make sure the toes are completely parallel or slightly pigeon-toed. Take the arms out. Tuck that pelvis in. Lead with the heart, come into a forward fold. Grab onto the outside part of the feet. If you've been practicing yoga for a while, go for it. If you still need to put your hands on top of your calves or outside of your ankles, that's okay. Pull yourself in. Lead with the heart and see if you can have a flat back. Flat back, try to release any curve in the back by squeezing the shoulder blades and press the chest in. So the goal of this pose is to get a nice stretch through the back of the legs, the hamstrings, but it's also supposed to help you really release from the glutes, where the hamstrings attach to the glutes, where the lower back attaches to the middle back, and then it's a decompressor for the spine. So the reason you're pulling on your legs and you let your head be heavy, you should be, it's an inversion, so you should be getting a decompression to your spine. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Hands to the hips, micro bend the legs, come on up. Extend the arms out to the side, walk your right foot to meet the left. Back to your Tadasana. Right foot steps out one more time. Maybe it's a little wider than before, depending on the length of your legs, depending on the openness of your hips. Take the hands out to the side. Lift the right toes and take the right toes towards the back, parallel to the back side of your mat. Now look at your heels and make sure your heels are heel to heel alignment or heel to arch. So your right heel is aligned to your back heel. Your right heel can be also aligned to your left arch. Then bend the knee at 90 degrees. Nice. So staying here in this 90 degrees. Nice. Make sure that right knee's not coming in. Make sure the right knee is nicely aligned. You can see your right knee in the middle of your big toe and your second toe. Make sure your right knee is also not coming forward. Now slowly go ahead and take the right wrist inside that right knee, left arm lifts. And just noticing here, there's a triangle on the right side of the body. You're lifting through the chest. Stay here or slowly, without pushing the back behind, press the hips forward. You'll allow that right elbow to slide down inside that right knee. That right elbow is helping you press the knee out so that you are opening through the hip. Press down on that left foot. When you press down on that left foot, you're going to immediately notice how the inner left thigh engages. Lift the chest. Lift. Slowly release. Straighten the leg, bring the leg back in. Left foot goes out to the side. Heel to heel alignment or heel to arch. Nice, bend the left knee. Make sure that left knee is aligned. Make sure the pelvis is not starting to stick back. Press the hips forward. Left elbow inside that left knee. Lifting up through the right side. Stay here, option to stay here or option to slowly take that left elbow all the way down. Use the left elbow to press your left knee back. So instead of the left knee coming inward, you're pressing that left elbow so that it opens up through the hip. Now press on your right foot, especially your big toe, the little toe. Press through the heel on the right side, engage your inner thigh, hold. Release, come on up, straighten the leg, and then right to left. Very nice. Hands to the hips. Take a step out. Maybe if you've been practicing yoga for a while and when we do this pose, it's way too easy, maybe take the step a little further out. I don't take it very out because I want to make sure I have the right alignment on the hips. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this pose. This is, to me, one of my most challenging poses. Lift the toes and take the toes to face the back of your mat. Your right toes should be completely in one straight parallel line. Your left toes, they're slim at an angle, but not very much. If you keep that left heel or that left leg too far out, this happens to your hips. You want both hips to face the front. This is the ideal. Separating the feet enough, but the hips are forward, shoulders are forward. Option to keep your hands here in the hips. Lead with the heart. If you want to take a little bit more challenging pose, you go ahead and take the arms up, and then lead with the heart. Leading with the heart, flat back. Transition to bending the right knee. Hands coming to the floor. Now press down on that back foot. That back foot heel should be down. Both heels are down. Bend the knee on the right side as much as you need to so that you can bring forehead to knee. Tuck the chin to the chest and forehead to knee. So here, the option to take a bigger step is available to you only if both heels are down and only if you have your forehead to the knee. So it's called forehead to knee. So we're not doing the pose if we don't have our forehead to the knee. That's the goal. Palms can come together in prayer. Squeeze chin to chest. Make sure you're pulling the weight towards the center of the body. In other words, imagine that you have a ball in between the thighs, or you have a big ball in between the inner part of the knees, and you're squeezing inward. Squeeze inward. Palms come together and slowly start lifting. Squeeze inward. And then slowly release. Turn yourself over towards the back side. As you turn yourself over towards the back side, make sure the back foot is at 15 degrees. Both hips are facing forward. Option to keep your arms up nice and long, lead with the chest, or hands can be on the hips. Lean forward, flat back. Hands reach the floor, you bend that left knee. Forehead to knee. Forehead to knee, back heel's flat, front foot is flat. Both hips are in one line, forehead to knee. If you want the challenge, you bring your palms together. Palms are together, and the only thing that's helping you is that little index finger or the middle finger that's touching the floor. Or maybe it's that ring finger that's touching the floor. Forehead to knee. Make sure both hips are level. Squeeze towards the center. All that weight is towards the medial side. Squeeze the legs together. Slowly start coming out. Very nice. Bring the right foot to meet the left. And then release the hands down to the side. Last standing pose. Your heart rate might be going up, and that's because we had our head below our heart. Make sure you always keep your eyes open. Tree pose. Make sure you find a spot or object that you're going to be staring at. Transfer the weight towards that left leg. Lift through the heart, belly in. Bend the right knee. Take the right leg out to the side. Option to stay here. Make sure both hips are facing forward, shoulder forward. Don't allow the body to come out to the side. Option to stay here. Maybe take the leg a little higher. Maybe take it all the way up. Maybe even take this pose with a half lotus. It's a different form of tree. Maybe that right foot is on top of the left thigh. For some people, they don't have to hold it. For me, I have to hold it to make sure I'm not sticking my butt out. And then I just take half prayer. Your choice, you take your tree. If you want to grow your tree, you grow your tree. Whatever tree you're in, make sure you're not kicking that left hip out to the side. Lift up through the chest, make yourself taller, belly in, and release. Very nice. Other side, transfer the weight towards the right leg, bend the left knee, take your tree variation, whatever tree variation that is. Start finding your tree. If you fall, you come back in. Find a spot or object that you're going to be staring at. Take hands into prayer if you wish, or if you prefer to grow your tree, you can grow your tree from the get-go. Your choice. Really strong. Lift through the chest, tuck the belly in. Grow your tree or close your eyes. Find the balance. Feel yourself wobbling side to side. That's okay. And then exhale, release. Last time on tree. You can take tree again, or if you want to start practicing your toe stand. If you want to use blocks to help you, you can use blocks or books in front of you. Bend the right knee, transfer the weight into that left side. And for toe stand, you have to put your right foot in front of your left thigh. Notice how my hand is not in the front. You do not want your hand in the front. You want your hand in through the back. Hold here, and then bend the knees. And maybe you stay here and just stay in this modified half lotus pose. Oops. And then slowly come down to the floor if the floor is what is feeling right for you. And then slowly come into your toe stand. Finding your toe stand. Good job. I see a couple of you. Great job. Slowly release wherever you are. Lift up. And release down. Opposite side. Transfer the weight towards that right leg. Take your tree. Or take that opposite option. Start going into your preparation for your toe stand. Take your time. If you're not doing toe stand, don't worry about it. Some people should not do toe stand because maybe their knees are hurting. Do not take anything that causes any excruciating pain. The stretch, yes, but no pain. I can't feel what you're feeling, so be mindful, be respectful of your body, know when you need to stop. Stay in your tree, or come to that toe stand. Wherever you are, you get the benefits of the pose. If you are in toe stand, slowly start coming out. And slowly release. Hands come to your heart. This is the space where we honor ourselves. We thank our body for their efforts, for the ability to show up for yourself. You take a bow, and then you come to the mat. Extend the feet towards the front, maybe, where you can still see. We're at home, so you're not going to be typically doing what we do in classroom. Extend the feet towards the front, and then immediately come towards your back. Take an open eye Shavasana. As you take an open eye Shavasana, allow your body to be now completely and absolutely comfortable, but keep your eyes open. Don't close your eyes. And then slowly go ahead and bend the right knee. Bring the right knee into the chest. And then take the right knee over towards the right armpit. Give yourself a nice pull. Make sure the left toe's on the floor. The right knee is pressing in towards the right armpit. And then release the foot. Get that foot all the way up. Release that heel down. Immediately bend the left knee. Interlace the hands below the front part of the knee. Pull it in. And then take it towards the left armpit. Start pulling that left knee towards the left corner of the room. Press down through both shoulders. Both shoulders should be grounded. Right heel's down on the floor. And then slowly release. Take that foot up and release it all the way down. Take the hands over and above the head. Stretch the body like a nice morning stretch. Point the toes. Point those fingertips. Interlace your thumbs together. Flex the feet. Imagine that you were going to be walking. You're flexing the feet. Heels are together. Toes are together. Press down on the tailbone. In my count of 3, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. You're going to inhale and then exhale it 2 times through the mouth. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And then slowly turn yourself over and then find yourself over on your mat. Belly on the mat. So I forgot to give you a water break. So if you need to take a water break here, you can take a water break as you approach and you get ready to go into the mat. If you don't need the water break, then just get on your belly. Getting on your belly right here. Very nice. Go ahead and take your hands next to the chest. Palms are down. Elbows are bent. Point the toes in the back. Your feet are together or maybe slightly apart. Your toenails are glued into the mat. Imagine you had Velcro on your mat or on the floor and your toenails are the other part of the Velcro, so they're not going to go up. Palms are next to the chest. Squeeze the shoulders. This is so good for your back. Part of the reason we have lower back problems is posture, weak abdominal muscles, or weak lower back muscles, or all of the 3. Inhale, lift the chest up. Baby cobra. Lift the chest, point the toes. Your kneecaps are really engaged so that your chins and your legs are not touching the floor. The only thing touching the floor is your upper thighs, your hips, and your belly. Lift up, and maybe now lift the palms. Squeeze the elbows together, lift up, look up. Lift a little bit more, make yourself nice and strong, and release. Hands towards the back, left ear to the mat. Very nice. Head back towards the center. Your hands are in the back, palms are down. So I really want you to think of something before we go into this. You don't have to look at me, just listen to my voice. As we get older, maybe you've seen your body changing. Maybe you've seen your mother or your grandmother or someone that you know who's elderly. The arthritis starts kind of shrinking and curving their palms, and you can see that arthritis or curve in the hands. This is where it helps to press the palms down, flatten the palms so that nice and flat. Now lift your right hip and bring that right forearm and right hand underneath the right body, and then lift the left side. So your goal, even though it might feel very uncomfortable, is to use your hip bones to press down on your forearms and in your hands. And maybe this is all you do. This is the benefit. We're trying to straighten our elbows. We're trying to straighten the palms, lengthen the fingers, and fight that arthritic hands and fingers and elbows. Lift the right leg up. Your right hip bone is still pressing on your right forearm. Your left forearm is being pressed by your left hip. And then release the right hand down. Lift the left leg up. You're using that left hip bone to press down on that left forearm, and your palms are pressing down and you're trying to have flat palms. Keep lifting. And then release it down. See if you can bring your palms closer together. Even if you don't lift the legs, I just want you to feel the feeling of trying to get those forearms and palms flattened below your hips. And then press both legs back, point the toes, lift both legs. As you lift both legs, press down your hip bones on that forearm. Press down on your palms. Lift the legs a little bit more. Lift a little bit more. And release. Shake it off. You can even come into a Sphinx. Release the palms, release the wrists. So as you rest here really quickly, I just want to share the analogy that I've heard earlier. I did some training this weekend with my teacher who lives in Thailand. And we were doing yin certification. I've taught yin before, but you can get certified specifically for it. And some of these poses, they feel very uncomfortable, but he described them as braces. The reason you put braces on is to straighten your teeth. Some of these poses are going to feel like a brace because they're really painful, but with time and repetition, it's going to help reshape our body, our joints. Very good. Let's stay back on our belly. Hands out to the side. Feet can be together or slightly apart. Inhale, lift the arms up. Lift the chest like if you're flying. Look forward. Toenails are glued. The only thing that's lifting is the chest, the arms up, and maybe the belly's barely touching. Lift a little bit more. Lift. Toenails are glued. And release. Palms can come down towards in front of the forehead, and then shake the hips or bend the knees side to side. Very gentle. We're going to do it a second set. Straighten the legs, arms out, go to the side. But this time I'm going to give you yogi's choice. Your choice to keep the toenails glued and just lift the chest, or your choice to lift both parts, the upper part and the legs up. Choose the hardest one. Inhale, lift up. Lift up. Lift a little bit more. Lift, your choice to lift the legs or not. Lift. And release. Opposite ear to the mat. Shake the hips. Take a couple more breaths. Now bend the knees, you're still on your belly. Let's come to floor bowl, like a bowl. Bend the knees, go ahead and reach back, right hand towards the right foot or right ankle and then left. And maybe this is as far as you go. Maybe the only thing you're trying to do is one day touch the back of your legs. If it's available to you, if you want to lift more, you can even walk your hands higher into the chins. Inhale, lift up. Lift up. The more you press those legs back, the more it helps you lift through the chest. So press the legs back, lift the chest, lift a little bit more, and release. Palms next to the chest. Press yourself into a child's pose. Whatever child's pose feels good to you. Maybe your elbows are bent, maybe your hands are forward, maybe you take your hands towards your heels. Maybe you separate the knees a lot or not too much. And then relax here, no tension. Feel that release in the lower back, middle back, and maybe even upper back between the shoulder blades. So imagine all these poses, the way we do them and in the sequence that we do it is to help you with your joints, with your body. Very nice. And slowly go ahead and close the knees. Stay in your child's, but close the knees. Palms next towards the knees and slowly come up. We're going to start with Zen. I want you to get a nice stretch here in the front of the legs and the shins and the ankles. See if you can bring even the knees together. Option now to lift up and then maybe remove the flesh from the body and then kick those heels back. And maybe we come into fixed firm. So the goal is for your derriere, your butt, your bun, to be on the floor. Watching your heels, that they're not too far out. They need to be touching the side of your legs. And maybe this is your pose. Trying to keep your knees together and your knees on the floor. Don't let them lift. If they start lifting, you stop and you're not ready for the next step. But if they're not lifting and their knees are close together, go to your forearms. And check it out. Stay here. Knees should be down on the floor. Knees may separate a little, but you don't want them to separate a lot. This pose is with the knees as close as possible. Option to stay here or walk or move your back all the way down. Arms can go back or arms can stay touching the belly. Slowly lift up, wherever you are, and then come on top of your knees. Make sure your knees are comfortable. If you need to double fold your mat, you can. Make sure there's about 2 fists apart in between the knees. Make sure your heels are aligned behind your knees. They're not coming in and they're not coming out. Take your hands and take your hands behind your hips. You're going to use your palms to press your hips forward. You're going to lift the chest, tuck the belly in. Don't let the belly just kind of hang out and collapse. You're using your belly muscles to help you lift up. You suck the belly in, navel to the spine, lift through the chest, and then look up, and then press your hips forward. Notice that my hips are supporting me. They're not allowing me to go back. My hips are a reminder that I have to press my hips forward. Lift the chest. When you lift the chest, you avoid collapsing and curving the spine and maybe hurting and pinching a nerve. So you have to lift the chest. Look up. Keep your eyes open. Option to stay here, or if you want more, you go ahead and reach for the heels. As long as you reach for heels and then press yourself forward, hips forward. Don't allow your hip bones to lean back. Press forward, look up. Release the hands. And then slowly take a real quick child's pose, counter pose. Slowly lift the chest. Now bring your knees together. Knees should be together, feet should be together. Inhale, lift up. This is called rabbit. Interlace your thumbs. Your palms look like they're in prayer. You lengthen through the arms. Try to have no bend in the elbow. That's the goal. Lead with the chest. You keep those arms nice and long. Try to be that the forehead is the first thing that touches the floor. Keep lifting those arms, forehead to the floor, and then fingers. And once you've reached the floor, forehead is down. Fingers are barely touching the floor. You're really extending fingers towards the front. Press your hips down so that the hips are touching the heels. So there's this pull that's going on, hips towards the back, fingertips towards the front, and then forehead down. This is a nice lengthening vertebrae pose. And it also provides extra blood flow to the center of your forehead. So in the center of the forehead, we have these glands where we produce serotonin and melatonin. Melatonin is to help us with our sleep cycle. Serotonin is to kind of the mood hormone. So by coming into forward folds, sometimes we give ourselves that happy hormone, and we allow our melatonin to be abundant. Palms are together, lift the heart, and slowly lift yourself all the way up. Hands go out to the side. Very nice. Let's come into rabbit. Take the hands behind the heels. Curve your spine, forehead to knee. As we come forehead to knee, pull on your heels and then lift the hips. So the goal of this pose is to lengthen your spine, lengthen your vertebrae. So if you're not pulling on your heels, then you're not going to be pulling on your vertebrae. So pull on your heels, forehead down towards the knees, lift the hips up. So this is a decompression of the spine in the lower back, middle back, and upper back. Pull and lift, and then slowly release. Keep your eyes open as you come up, making sure the eyes are open. Very nice. Take your heels towards the right, extend the feet towards the front. Bend your right knee, and now take your right knee out to the side. So the right foot is inside the left thigh. I'm going to invite you to take that left leg out instead of keeping it forward. We've been sitting a lot lately, and so this is going to help us stretch the sides as well. Inhale, lift, turn your chest towards your left leg. The left leg should be the straight leg. And then you can bend the left leg a little, grab on to the bottom of your feet or your foot on the left side, and now pull yourself in. Forehead to knee if possible, but lengthening through the heart. Forehead to knee. Make sure that you're being mindful of that right foot, right leg. Make sure there's no pain. I just readjusted my right foot a little lower. I'm having knee pain on my right side, so I'm pulling down. I'm going to adjust so that I don't have any pain on my right. Pull yourself down, pull. You're going to feel an immense stretch as you pull both elbows down, especially the right elbow. If you're very flexible, the challenge here for you is to squeeze your elbows towards your calves and try to have those bent elbows both down on the floor. Pull down, pull those left toes towards the head. And exhale, release. Extend the feet forward, bend the left knee. Now it's the other side. Take that left knee out to the side. Take that right leg out, kind of like a V. Lift the arms, take the chest towards the center of that right knee. I bend my knee so I can reach down. Once I reach down, I pull myself down, bringing and bending those elbows. As I bend those elbows, I pull my chest down, forehead to knee. And then slowly come on up. Lift yourself up. Extend the feet towards the front. Nice. And then come on forward. Very nice. Inhale, lift up, bend the right knee. Take the right foot over towards the left side. Option to keep the left leg bent or bend it if you wish. Make sure both hips are leveled. So if you're leaning over towards the left side, maybe you're not ready, maybe you need to keep that left leg straight because that allows you to have both hips down. If both hips are down when you bend this leg, then you're good. Right foot is planted firmly. Right hand goes towards the back as a low kickstand. Left arm hugs that right knee. If you want to take the twist with the elbow, you can. That's your choice. Inhale, lift. Turn your chest towards the right side. Lift through the heart, twisting. And then slowly release. Extend the feet out. Bend the left leg. Take left foot across. Option to bend the right. Left hand goes towards the back. Right arm lifts. Right arm hugs the left knee. Inhale, lift up. Keep that chest nice and tall. Don't collapse. Lift up. Squeeze that left knee into the chest. Make yourself nice and tall. Use the oblique muscles to help carry you through. Continue to lift and continue to breathe. As you're breathing, you're helping that good, clean oxygen and the exchange of carbon dioxide to release through your internal organs. And then center. Stretch the feet forward. Give yourself a nice last stretch if you need it. And then slowly release. Option to stay here, option to come in cross-legged, or the traditional stance, Zen style sitting. We're gonna do our last breath exercise, all about a breath. Bring your hands maybe on top of the thighs, or palms can be up, but just be mindful that you don't move the shoulders. Everything's gonna be from the belly. You're gonna inhale through the nose and then shh out, okay? Here we go. Inhale in. Moisten the lips. Double the time. Here we go. Inhale in. Moisten the lips. Let's take 3 breaths through the nose and side out through the mouth. Inhale in. Open the lips side out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. And release. Very nice. Let's welcome that amazing Shavasana invertebrate. Let's go to your mat. Allow your feet to come towards the front. Slowly allow your back to touch the floor. Separate your feet as much as you need it. Palms out. Make your Shavasana nice and wide. Take as much step or space as you need. Lift the chest just a little bit and allow the tissue between the shoulder blades to readjust. Open your lips ever so slightly and relax the jaw. Your work is done. We'll be here in Shavasana for a few minutes and then we can all end together. Slowly start moving your toes, your fingers. Become aware of your breath. Maybe you bring your knees into your chest if they're not there already. Begin to draw your body side to side with this hug and squeeze. Take whatever movement you need. And then slowly and gently turn your body to the left or to the right. Stay in your fetus pose for just a breath or two. Maybe just making a brief mental note of the way you're showing up for yourself. We've heard the word, how does this person show up? Every time this person shows up this way or that way. That's what we mean by how are you showing up for yourself. And know that tonight, and every time that you come to the mat, you are demonstrating, manifesting that you are important, that you value yourself, and that you should be valued, regardless of what anybody else does. You show up for yourself. Then press yourself up into a comfortable seated pose. So we can end our practice, or you're more than welcome to stay in Shavasana wherever you are. Option to bring the hands into the heart, allowing the thumbs to touch your heart. Connect with your heartbeat, the rhythm of your life. We'll take 3 breaths through the nose and then side out through the mouth. Inhale in, side out. Inhale in, release. Inhale, and let go. Thumbs into your third eye. Connecting with your inner teacher, your wisdom, and your higher self. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
You
you,
can
Norma.
stay in Shavasana. I'm okay with that.
Thank
Thank
you.
And if you can join me tomorrow at 12, that'd be awesome. Wear your local outfit, whatever it is. Thank you, loves. From my heart to yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Adios, guapas y guapos.